Well, the NFL season is just around the corner. Matter of fact, tomorrow night we get things kicked off with Seattle and the Green Bay Packers, the defending Super Bowl champions. And I know my friend Janet Parker from Sports Talk loves the Packers, and I know you're excited about this ball game.
I am. I'm a Packers fan. I cannot wait to see Aaron Rodgers out there on the field. But the Seahawks, they're the champs from last season.
You scared?
So, no, I'm never scared. Of course not.
Well, I'm going to give you a reason.
But should I be?
Yeah, well, I'm going to give you a reason to be a little bit nervous. Okay. And that reason is because of defense of Seattle. We saw what they did to the Denver Broncos last year. Dismantled Peyton Manning and that proficient offense. Could do nothing. Why? Pass rush and pass coverage, something I know the Gamecocks will love to see as well. But you talk about a defense that got Richard Sherman, those cover guys, the safeties, the D-line, they get after the quarterback, Janet. And Aaron Rodgers, I know you like him. He's a very good quarterback, but you need to be worried.
Well, they need to be worried more. They're actually going to be on the field. I'll just be watching. I'm just saying. Okay, talk about this season. There's been some shakeups, in preseason headed into tomorrow night's big game and kicking off the actual season. Talk about some of those shakeups and some changes.
Well, one of the changes I'm going to give to you, to Julius Peppers, the addition of him coming to Green Bay, I think it's going to help that defense, that 3-4 defense that they run. They get up the quarterback with Clay Matthews as well. But you have movement, and we're going to talk about some more movement with the Carolina Panthers here in just a moment. But it's the National Football League, Janet, and you talk about free agent and free agency, guys move around. It's hard to kind of really pinpoint where players are, but there always are movement happening. You got new guys with the draft. We're going to get a chance to see how these guys do. But I think it's a really great football game kicking off tomorrow night with Green Bay and Seattle, because these are two veteran-oriented football teams that we're going to have familiarity with the players.
It's a great one to kick off the season, for sure. Okay, of course, I can't be remiss without talking about the Panthers.
How many teams do you have?
Listen, well, they're kind of the home team, so I have to support the home team.
Well, let's talk about your Carolina Panthers.
I saw some video of Cam Newton, so I'm excited.
Oh, now you fired up about Cam Newton. Well, Cam Newton missed the last preseason game. They held him out because of that rib injury. Because in the offseason, he had an ankle injury where he had surgery as well. So Cam Newton is a guy that we're watching. But they had the addition of Stephen Hill, who's a second-round pick for the Jets. He was cut. Now, that should tell you something. He was a high draft pick, and he was cut in his second or third year. If I'm a Panthers fan, I don't know what I'm going to get. I can tell you he's a guy that can stretch the field. He can be that down-the-field weapon for Cam Newton. And that's about it. But he was not effective with the New York Jets. Now, they did not have a sound quarterback as well, so I'll give you that.
There you go. Whereas Cam Newton, we know he brings it. I'm just saying.
Well, he's a guy that's, they run that dual threat offense, I like to call it, a zone read, a lot of shotgun. But Cam Newton has his running backs back. I watched Stewart in the preseason. Williams, those guys, those backs are healthy. So I think they're going to be good in the running game. They lost a lot of receivers. Lost Steve Smith. They lost the emotional leader of that football team. So for me, I think the biggest question I have for the Carolina Panthers, can Cam Newton be the leader? We know the towel on the head. You know how he rolls. But can he be that emotional leader of that football team, Janet? And Steve Smith was that. Say what you want to about Steve Smith. He was fiery, and he got those guys fired up.
Yeah. Well, we are going to see as the season again kicks off tomorrow with the Packers and the Seahawks.
Yeah, you and Kevin, all you cheeseheads and Shelley. We got a lot of Packers fans around here. But it's going to be a good football game. I think it's going to be a great season. The Giants play on Monday night. The Detroit Lions, a doubleheader Monday night. But tomorrow night, the Big Boy League kicks off, Janet Parker.
And you say Seahawks have it.
I can say it will be a great game. And I can say that's going to do it for sports. And we'll be back.